what's going on, guys? Major League Shooter here. Today I have another installment of California gun laws. This one in particular is going to be covering large capacity magazines. Now I am going to be looking down on time to time because I do have notes because I am not a lawyer or I don't study law or anything of that nature. I just did my research on, you know, state laws and things of the sort. So with that being said, large capacity magazines are covered under Penal Code or PC section 32310 alpha, which basically prohibits the manufacture, importation, sale, offering for sale, giving, or lending of any standard capacity magazine larger than 10 rounds. So basically, if it meets the parameters of any of these listed in the definition or in the Penal Code, you are in violation of state law. As of January 1st of 2014, Assembly Bill or AB 48 added buying and receiving to the list of activities that are prohibited under the same penal code. So that penal code is 32310 alpha. So I'm going to read the definition to manufacturing and large capacity magazines verbatim for you guys. Since it does prohibit this, manufacturing is such a broad or vague word that it needs its own definition. So California law defines manufacturing as both fabricating a magazine and assembling a magazine from a combination of parts, including but not limited to the body, spring, follower, and floor plate or end plate to be a fully functioning large capacity magazine. Under California law, a large capacity magazine is defined as any ammunition feeding device with the capacity to accept more than 10 rounds. This, however, is kind of suggestive because it doesn't go on to say anything about a 10 plus round magazine that has been permanently fixed or altered to meet the parameters of only 10 rounds in that magazine. So say if you have a 30 round magazine and block it off permanently, the keyword is permanently, to only meet 10 rounds in that magazine, you are in the right. It also does not include 22 caliber tube ammunition feeding devices or a tubular magazine that can be found in a lever action firearm. So since it doesn't include these, it is technically not illegal. So California, like I said, you know, does not further explain what a large capacity magazine, but in the definition of detachable magazine, it does go on to include belted and linked ammunition, but not clips, end block clips or stripper clips that basically load ammunition into magazines. So plain and simple, this means that clips should not be considered as large capacity magazines because plain and simple, they're not. So basically, with that being said, ammunition feeding devices that of any size regardless of the magazine, so if it's a 30 round, 35, 60 round magazine that that is permanently altered to make them unable to accept more than 10 rounds, basically when and if this happens, they lose their large capacity magazine status, thus making them legal. Those who possess a 10 plus round magazine prior to the introduction of Penal Code or PC 32310 in January 1st of the year 2000 are able to keep those magazines, but are unable to, you know, continue importing them or anything like that. Just those magazines that you had prior to the introduction of this bill, you can still have. Also, there is no law that prohibits fixing these magazines as well. So if you have a 30 round magazine, legally of course, and say your spring was to snap for whatever reason, you can legally import parts to fix your said magazine. But although you can, you know, fix your magazine under Penal Code 32311, it does go on to prohibit what they call a conversion kit, which under California law, you know, I'm going to read this for you too. A conversion kit is defined as a device or combination of parts of a fully functioning large capacity magazine, including but not limited to the body, spring, follower, and floor plate or end plate, capable of converting an ammunition feeding device into a large capacity magazine. So basically, if it's a conversion kit that has all these parts and has the capability of converting a 10-round magazine to a 30-round magazine, is in fact illegal. But it does raise some questions of what exactly a conversion kit is. It is generally understood that magazine extenders capable of converting an ammunition feeding device into what California calls a large capacity magazine is likely to be treated as prohibited. But because rebuild kits do not technically convert, they literally just fix or your existing magazine. In plain reading of the law, it is in fact legal to import what's called a rebuild kit or even singular parts. But to conclude, I think it's important to say that if you buy some of these rebuild kits and in turn manufacture, if you will, a large capacity magazine out of these rebuild kits, you are now in violation of the law, and if you get caught, will be prosecuted accordingly. But like I said, having rebuild kits are not illegal. Importing them are also not illegal, and merely possessing a large capacity magazine is not illegal if you had them legally prior to January 1st of 2000. So with that being said, this concludes what California considers a large capacity magazine, but even though there are standard magazines according to the manufacturers of the said firearm, say AR-15 has a standard capacity magazine of 30 rounds, according to California state law, that is not the case, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous. But that's just me, and I know most of you guys would have my back on that opinion. But with that being said, that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and with that being said, God bless you, and God bless America.